Okay, welcome to another video. I don't know if I'm going to make this an official pinball guide video or not. But yeah, let's talk about a little bit about this machine right here, the Jurassic Park. This is not going to be a review. I just want to show you a couple of stuff. So first of all, this is a Data East pinball machine, and those Data East pinball machines are different than Williams games in some points. For example, it's a dot matrix display, and we still have here two buttons. I hope you can see it. I can, yeah. So we have two buttons right here. This one is one that stays in, and this one is one that doesn't. So yeah, I hope you get the point. So the way how this menu works in this Jurassic Park Data East pinball machine is, if this button is out and you push this button, you get to the outage and adjustments, and then you have to push this button to scroll through all that stuff. And when you push this button in, you go back, as you can see. And if we push this button so that it's out, we are going forward again. And we adjust this kind of stuff using the start button, this one right here. So that's probably the first thing. And yeah, we have to scroll through all of them. And if this button is pushed in and we press this button, we get to the diagnostics. That's where you can test basically all of this stuff. So here we can remove the balls. We can make a burn-in test, speaker test, display test. Here we can also test the T-Rex. So we control the T-Rex with the flipper buttons and with the handle right here and the start button. So the flipper buttons are moving the T-Rex left to right, and that tells you now it's on the left side, so the left switch is on, which is good. So if I move him slowly, see, there's the center switch, and I have the feeling that this center switch is too short. You know, it doesn't move slowly, and see, like, too short, I think. Maybe there is supposed to be a different micro switch, but if I move it all the way to the right, so maybe that's a problem. And I can also, now the top switch is on, I can also move it down. Now the bottom switch is on, and now I can also use the handle to make his mouth go so that he closes his mouth. So this stuff works. So I think in the game the problem is that the center switch is, I don't know, a little bit too short, so it doesn't really recognize that it's on, or I don't know. But otherwise you can see everything works. Yeah, that's the T-Rex. And now we get to a problem that I used to have with let's say, too far. Damn it, come on. Like I said, I had a problem with the GI lights, and the GI lights are basically all the lights that are turned on right now, which is the standard playfield lighting and the lighting of the back box. This stuff is supposed to turn off at the beginning of a game, or it is supposed to blink at some points in the game, and I didn't know how to test it. So I can test it with the coil test. Now I have to use the flipper buttons to scroll through the menu to select. GI relay. That's the one that I had trouble with. And to activate it, I have to push the start button. And as you can see, it works right now. And yeah, I can also show you how I fixed it, or I didn't even really fix it. Maybe it was just a loose contact, but I can show you where the problem was. I mean, this basically already tells you that it's the red, that it's a plug that has a red and a brown-orange wire. And some people on the forum also pointed out that, yeah, this could be the problem. So maybe there is a soldering point that is bad, or maybe it's really a broken cable or loose contact or something like this. But yeah, at least this stuff is working right now. Great. So yeah, that's basically music. Now, don't be confused, I turned the T-Rex off in the menu, so that's why it didn't work right now. So, yeah, but as you can tell, there are still some lights that don't work, so I have to figure out what the problem is right there, because it looks like they don't have anything in common with, so I don't know, but yeah, battery is about to die. What I'm doing next? Well, maybe I can show you how to remove the lockdown bar on a Data East game. You see, you still have this handle right here, like in every other pinball machine and a Williams game. But the problem is, there is like this little sprung or spring right here that is always automatically moving this one to the side. So you basically need two people or two hands to always remove the lockdown bar or put the lockdown bar back in. And this could be a little bit complicated because you have to hold the glass from sliding out, you have to put in the lockdown bar, and you also have to hold this lever to the side. So this is a little frustrating when it comes to Sega and Data East games, but yeah, that's just the way it is. So now let's just remove the balls. So in a Williams game, you have to close the coin door and he just shoots out the balls. Well, in this Data East game, you have the ability to use the flipper buttons to tell him when to launch the next ball, so that you are always ready for it. So I'm pushing the button right now. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Didn't catch this one. Oh no, now he's in there. Well, this one ball is gone. Yeah, but now let me show you how to flip up something that you have to know when it comes to lifting up the playfield in a Data East game. See, when you lift up the playfield of a Data East game, you don't have like this mechanic that you have in the Williams games, so the pinball machine is just resting on those things. But as you can probably already tell, this looks really dangerous. It could fall down every second. So that's why those Data East games have like this rubber string right here that you have to hook up right there. And yeah, this keeps the playfield safe and in place so that it doesn't fall down, which is actually really effective, because if I try to pull it down, it doesn't work. Otherwise, if you don't do that, it could smash your head, or imagine the entire playfield would fall down and you have your fingers right here. Ouch. Yeah, we don't want that to happen. So every time you work underneath the playfield of a Data East game, make sure that you have it secured with this rubber thing. Yeah, and that's basically what the base or the bottom of the playfield looks like. Like I already told you, somebody put in a new speaker, and I also thought that this one is causing the problems that I had with the sound, but looks like it isn't. So yeah, that's where we control the volume with this knob right there. Yeah, that's basically already everything that I have to show you when it comes to underneath the playfield. We can see that some lights that don't work, like this one, that the sockets are really rusty. Maybe that's a reason why it isn't working. I'm not sure. I have to check it out. Yeah. Anyways, let's take a look at the inside of the back box to see what was causing some trouble right there. Because right here we don't have that much. This is like the switch, the micro switch that controls the T-Rex, that is the center switch, and maybe this is like the wrong switch because all the other ones are black and this one is kind of bluish. So maybe this is also causing the problems. Those are the wires. Somebody put in LED lights inside the head of the T-Rex. I removed that stuff because glowing red lights in a T-Rex, that's more like Dino Riders, but not like Jurassic Park. Yeah. But otherwise, everything looks nice. Everything seems to work, at least. Aside from the few lights that don't work. So let's take a look inside the back box. So now here we have the inside of the back box of this pinball machine. So as you can already tell, there are the batteries, and I mean, it pretty much looks the same as any Williams pinball machine. So this is the board that has been replaced by Rotten Dog Amusements, which is a repro. And this up here, that's the relay that controls the lighting of the playfield. And this is basically the thing that was causing some trouble. And yeah, this relay, it's being controlled by those cables right here, and they go in here. So maybe there is like a loose contact, or maybe something that I have to solder on the back of this board. But yeah, that's basically what's causing this problem. I don't know why there is a fuse missing. Somebody told me if this fuse F7 is missing, the dot matrix display wouldn't work, but you know, it works. So yeah, about the sound problem, you know, somebody told me he doesn't think that the LED display is causing the sound problems because LED displays don't use that much electricity as a original plasma display. But see, the problem is here we have those wires, and so here we have those wires, and the problem is the wires, they are not coming from the board, they are going to the board, and those are the wires that are responsible for the sound. And we see here those two, I don't know how to call them in English, but those two things. And what those two things do is basically they take away some of the electricity from those wires that are going to the board that are responsible for the sound, and they use this electricity to power the LED board a little bit. And yeah, this means that this plug that is responsible for the sound doesn't have the full electricity that it's supposed to have. And this could cause some problems when it comes to the sound. And this could cause my sound problem. So I have been moving this stuff a little bit. Maybe there was like another loose contact or something, thanks to the transportation of this thing. So yeah, sound problem and light problem, they are fixed pretty much. I didn't have any problems ever since then. Yeah, so the only stuff that is still causing problems are some light bulbs on the play field that I have to test, and the T-Rex that is causing some problems every now and then. Yeah, but aside from that, everything is working. So yeah, that's basically all there is to say about Data East pinball games and what's different compared to Williams games. So the menu is different. Removing the lockdown bar is quite similar. And yeah, the most important thing is probably this rubber band to secure the playfield when it's lifted up. But aside from that, everything is okay. So that's it for now with this video. For some reason, those lights on top of the back box where the topper is supposed to be, those lights aren't working as well. But the two flashers work. So I don't know, I have to figure out this stuff. Oh yeah, and another thing, if we take a look in the back box of this Data East pinball machine, we realize, wait a second, there isn't a knocker. So the knocker in Data East games is basically inside the cabinet. So yeah, that's probably another difference. So that's it for now. I'm going to film and post and whatever more videos. Subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I see you again in one of my other videos. Bye.